Welcome one, welcome all to the thin air of Denver, Colorado, where the atmosphere is certainly thickening, and we invite you to Match Week 10 in MLS Next Pro, where the fixture list brings us a pair of Western Conference opponents on opposite headings into contact. Houston Dynamo 2 and Colorado Rapids 2 reach out for one another today. The home side looking for their first win of the 2026 season. The visiting Texans with every intention of remaining unbeaten on the campaign. Howdy, folks. I'm Peyton Gallagher, and we will start by looking at the lineup chose by Eric Bushley, the starting 11 for the home side here in this one, as Colorado Rapids prepare for this oncoming task at hand. But first, we set to step aside for a quick break. We'll be back with those lineups when we return.
Yeah, boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best, can't rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next, just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud, don't worry about what next. Just know we got now, oh yes. Man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Attention engaged here in the mile-high city of Denver, Colorado. MLS Next Pro Match Week 10 set to kick off in the starting 11s for the two sides today, starting with Colorado Rapids 2 as promised, with Eric Bushley picking this squad from the off today. Of course, only the one change in a lineup that has been struggling to find its form in front of goal, and that man is Alex Harris, brought into the squad to start things off, replacing Josh Copeland. Expect a high degree of rotational play. Plenty of attention being paid to Cindy Lathuda in that responsibility, as he has the versatility to pretty much play anywhere across the spine of the side. Back in the squad once more today, Bilo Jump after scoring last time out against Vancouver, as he's trying to get the wheels spinning, one of the most important attacking players for this Colorado Rapids 2 side. As for the visitors, Houston Dynamo 2, unbeaten on the year. Jeremy Hurdle leading this program to this point in the season, where they have been so dominant using this 3-4-3. Much more expansive attacking side than you might figure, given some of the defensive numbers, but only 2 goals conceded this year. That has been the benchmark for the division, the best defense. They'll have to do it today, though. Now, their key man in the center of the back line, Gavin Wolf, the best goalkeeper in the division. By many measures, Pedro Cruz will hold it down in net, trying to close that distance. We step out to the live pictures now, just about ready for kickoff between Houston Dynamo 2 and Colorado Rapids 2. Rapids, after winning the Western Conference a year ago, needing to find their footing in 2026. Once more, I'm Peyton Gallagher Excited to bring you all the breadth and width and color this match might contain. All time, it is an even series between the two sides. Each team pocketing 5 victories in the regular duration of 90 minutes. A pair of draws as well that went down to penalties. Nose to nose again. These two adversaries that saw each other on match day 1. From that point on, it has been trends in opposite directions. Wishbone breaking on that day in favor of Dynamo 2, who have not looked back. Colorado Rapids 2 have found themselves on the opposite trend line. Marquee man that might be a good one to circle in red for Houston Dynamo 2. Austin Brumet stepping into this one after a brace last time out, leading the line against Sporting Kansas City 2. Now with 3 goals on the campaign. Rapids 2 will try and keep him contained. Back on their home patch. First of a 3-match homestand for the Coloradans. Dynamo 2 in the midst of a 10-game road trip. Real scheduling anomaly. They are unblemished at this point. They hope to remain that way as they set sail in what is match 4 of 10 away from the state of Texas in their friendly confines against a very hungry Colorado Rapids 2 side. In the burgundy and blue, it is the home team Colorado. Houston in the orange with the white trunks. Bit careless in distribution out of the back from Pedro Cruz, and Colorado Rapids 2 step forward to try and win it. Again, Houston Dynamo 2 have only surrendered 2 goals this year. That's largely because of the man who has the ball in hand now, Pedro Cruz. 26 saves on the year, 93% save percentage. Eldin Jakupovic has been marvelous in goal for Chattanooga this year, as he has been the last couple of seasons, but in many respects, it would be hard to argue that Pedro Cruz has been not the greatest impact-making goalkeeper in MLS Next Pro this year. 21-year-old Brazilian. Bit of a dangerous ball, played away into trouble. A chipped effort is off the bar. Narrow margins, and Rapids 2 evade disaster by a hair and now open things up the other way. A loose first touch from Sidney Wathuda. It was Samir Mohammed who missed out on the chance to make it 1-0 inside the first 90 seconds for Dynamo 2. Manager Eric Bushley was quick to point out that he just felt like his team had a couple of glitches in focus throughout the course of the season, and that mixed in with inconsistent finishing. That's the reason why they failed to find victory in their first 7. Another one of those glitches in focus, nearly determining the early proceeding of the tie. Houston Dynamo 2 marching into the attacking half. Nonetheless, Morana. Closing quickly to take it back. It was Wakatuya who won the ball initially for Dynamo Dos, and free kick is awarded. Rapids 2 have committed just over 15.5 fouls per game. It's inside the top 5. Inside of MLS Next Pro. They've given away the first of the game, 3 minutes in. Jack Campagnolo minding the danger in goal for Colorado. Thrust in, low into the near post and parried away. Matteo Di Morelli was the one who was teasing the target. The goalkeeper has just about come through it for Colorado. Things wide open on the break. Houston do like to step that line high with the ball. They may pay the price here. Solid switch of play. Kamani Stewart-Baines. Dynamo Dos reinforcing that defense in front of their own 18. Stewart-Baines lifting in. And it hops across the face of the runner, Mamadou Bilo-Diop. The chances have been flying forward for either side. Technically the first shot on target of the game. Matteo Di Morelli letting loose from distance, but already Houston have come close to goal on a pair of occasions. Navigating out from the back and working through the pressure without issue. Upstream, it's Di Morelli again. Matteo Di Morelli cutting into the left. A pop from distance again! And a sprawling stop from the goalkeeper, Campagnolo. It was Gilberto Rivera who saw just enough green grass in front of him. Not leaving anything to chance there, the goalkeeper, Campagnolo. And they have a corner to deal with now, Colorado Rapids too. How much more of this might they withstand in the opening stanzas with in-swing? Dances through the box dangerously. Snapped up by Dynamo Dos. Vinicius Silva hoisting to the opposite end of the area, and foul is called. Felix Granados is the center official today. Tyler Spiska and Joseph Knopf running the lines. Fourth official is Max Alatorre. Rapids 2 once more struggling to maneuver out from their own ends. Hemmed into the far corner. That forces the giveaway. Home side have been one of the more possessive teams in MLS Next Pro this year. Just a hair under 55% of an average claim to the ball. That is the fourth highest mark in the league, but they're finding things precarious so far in this one. No quarter given by their opponent. A splash of skill and a shot queued up. Gliding well over frame. It was once more Samir Mohammed who caught a sight of goal. That is already his second shot of the game. Pedro Cruz getting in gear to meet the ball at the edge of the area. In lieu of picking it up, has instead decided to pick out a center back. This is one of the values in Cruz's game that maybe doesn't get the understanding and love. His ability to join up and become that extra body and set of feet in the build-up. When asked about that, what the hidden values of the goalkeeper's game were, his manager, Jeremy Hurdle, was quick to point out it's less tangible. It's just a intensity that he brings that permeates the rest of the squad. Focus always so fixed for Pedro Cruz, and it gives him the ability to react in ways to shots that is almost intuitive. The rest of the team feels that confidence. It is a cliche, but cliche for a reason. When you have a goalkeeper of that caliber behind you, it just makes everybody feel a little bit lighter A little bit more willing to take that chance, take that risk, and go forward to try and make something happen, knowing the price to be paid might be a little bit cheaper on the other ends. Already 5 shots in the first 9 minutes of play between the two teams. Thrusting forward, Dynamo Dos. Brumet's in the box. It goes toward him and tilted away from danger. Looks like Brumet got a glance of that. Take another peek at it. James Cameron was covering in. I think he just kind of threw a leg out at it in reaction. And it's another corner kick. What's becoming a barrage of them for Dynamo Dos. Rolled into a dangerous area at the heart of the area and scraped off the line by Campagnolo. It was ducked in exactly where you want the ball to be played. It looked like Noah Betancourt was the one that applied the touch inside the heart of the area. And it's been given away again. Shot from Austin Brumet is met by the block, and it's out for what looks like a goal kick. Or has the referee given a corner? Looks like it caromed off of James Cameron on its way out of play. Swerved in once more, this time with a little bit more carriage, and off the ricochet will be tracked down. Austin Brumet flying all the way across the box and back at the feet of Matteo Di Morelli. Rivera! Another fine stop from Zachary Campagnolo. That was charting a course for the bottom corner. The goalkeeper intervened necessarily. It's another corner kick. One thing is for sure, it is a white knuckle grip right now for the Rapids. Another useful ball. There might be a second bite at the apple. Flailing at it at the goal line, and somehow it's been sprayed away. Shuffled back in. Shot coming, and it's a brave block. It was J.J. Bell that thought he had the goal at his mercy. Frantic, nervous defending from Rapids 2. Such a smart run from Bell. Caught everybody flat-footed. But answering the call there in style was the defender. It's once more put into a dangerous spot. Hit towards goal and screamed wide. Not to belabor the point at this stage in the game, but already 4 saves from Zachary Campagnolo inside the first quarter hour. Back to Campagnolo, who will be happy to take it at feet this time. Rapids 2 have hardly been out of their own half at this stage in the game. Sidney Wathuda has only touched the ball 4 times. Same story for Mamadou Bilo Diop. 8 touches between the 2 strikers for Rapids 2. Would like to just probably lay some claim in custody to possession now. A stilted switch that's quickly cut out. There's Wathuta popping up, only for a moment though. And it's back with Dynamo Dos, winning all the second balls right now. And with numbers on the front foot. DiMorelli now deferring. Pulsing wide and putting himself on the ball. Samir Mohammed was the one distributing. DiMorelli takes it on himself, trying to cut end line. And it's clipped away. Ali Fadal putting in some strong cover and multiple engagements there. "11 shots from Dynamo Dos. Rapids too wisely maybe just bringing this rolling boil down to a simmer. It's trouble again, though. Austin Brumet doesn't have the ankle. Another sliding intervention from Ali Fadal. And it's another corner. Just to put it in context, Colorado Rapids 2 in their last game against Vancouver, they had one corner the entire game. That is already the 6th coming up here for Houston Dynamo 2. Slingshot it to the back stick, a free look at goal from Austin Brumet, albeit through a lot of traffic, and this will be easier to handle for Zachary Campagnolo. Inspecting delivery down the touchline. Lapsing out for a throw. To this point, it has looked like a side that is, with 6 victories and no defeats, against a side that has yet to find all 3 points in a match this year. A rehashing of the match day 1 fixture between these two teams. Dynamo 2 have won the last 2 engagements. This ball is flown in and Cruz will take it clean. At no points in the series history as one of the two teams won 3 consecutively, and there is a Dynamo Dos player down, at least for a moment. Coming through the crowd to collect, and I think maybe just a passing glance on the way toward goal from one of the attacking players. Cruz will take it with a drop ball and resume. Well, that's clever. Infield for DiMorelli. Has fingerprints all over the game so far. Interchanging with Mohammed. Couldn't quite connect the final dots on the give and go. Job dropping all the way back to try and clean things up at the back. Break is brewing, but only for a moment. Something that Dynamo Dos do so well. They are fearless the way they commit numbers into the attack, but just always feel with the way that they set up that there's a cork to be put in the bottle on the break. Center backs with a really sharp understanding of positional awareness and where to be and when to be there. Samir Mohammed rolling wide. Matteo DiMorelli. DiMorelli and Mohammed, those two in close dialogue all game long. Punched wide. Freeman at the touchline. Splitting by two defenders and catching up to it at the end line. Maybe overcooked the cross a bit, but it will be hawked down by DiMorelli. Dynamo Dos just knocking it about. Rivera rifling to the wide side. A well cut back cross. Another fine save. Zachary Campagnolo. It's a scrapbook of stops from him. Right in stride for J.J. Bell, who was certain he was going to make it 1-0. One of the best goalkeeping performances you will see in MLS Next Pro, not even 20 minutes into the game. Knuckle applied by Campagnolo. A delightful delivery wide now. The flag has stayed down. And swerving out of touch for a throw to come. This part of the match is brought to you by UC Health. With personalized care in locations across Colorado, UC Health is here for you no matter where your story takes you. UC Health. Live extraordinarily. Living their best life so far, to the dismay of Colorado Rapids 2, has been Houston Dynamo 2. Always so important to cash in those purple patches in a match, though, when you've got momentum at your back. Never know when a match might sway. You might live to regret the chances you didn't take. Just about halfway through this first half at this stage. You're just now joining us. Still scoreless. That's because of 5 saves from the goalkeeper, Zachary Campagnolo. We thought that Pedro Cruz might be the one that was writing the headlines in goal today for Houston Dynamo Dos. Been his opposite number, though, without question. Shifting through the gears are Colorado Rapids 2. This is a promising passage of play. Strelhauser steaming one all the way across the face of goal, and it will be a goal kick. But best attacking moment of the game so far for Rapids 2. Brumet linking the play. Off the spin, it was J.J. Bell who popped a tire and took a Rapids 2 player down with him. Seeing that Dynamo press back off a bit. Such an important part of what they do, metering that press and knowing where to set traps. On the field, the triggers changing based on the opponent, but always with that subtle edge, nuance the way that they pressure teams. It's a slide ball into the mid-park and golf to the opposite side now. Escaping the attacking player now for a throw. Rapids 2 starting to find their feet a little bit more, growing into the game. So important for the home side. They don't fall behind, especially early against a team that has been so stingy defensively. Again, only 2 goals conceded this year for Dynamo Dos. Given those have come in the last 3 games after posting 4 successive clean sheets to start the year. Already 5 clean sheets on the year for Houston Dynamo 2. They only had 4 all of 2025. 4 remaining unbeaten teams in the division. And they've given it away. Goalkeeper at the mercy of the finish, and finally finding a way through. Matthew Arana comes through with his 2nd goal of the year and finally lifts Houston Dynamo a nose in front of their opponent. And the finish was absolutely unbothered.
Hey, let's slow it down.
Given away. And eventually, they were not going to be able to dodge their way out of that. Colorado Rapids 2, 3rd or 4th time. They put it at the mercy of the team that's in front of them.
Let's go get 2 more.
Matthew Arana, merciless.
Let's go get 2 more.
His 4th goal contribution of the year as well. Very diverse Dynamo Dos attack. 12 players have tallied at least 1 goal this year, and now there are 5 that have scored multiple. Arana, the most recent to join that club.
Houston Dynamo 2 goals, scored by number 22, Matthew.
A response is required for Colorado Rapids 2.
6 minutes.
Stung wide. Just running out of road. Mamadou Bilo Diop was creasing in towards the corner of the 18, and it's well won back. Stuart Baines and Bilo Diop again. Picks out a friendly set of feet. The crook of the 18, but it doesn't go very far. Brumet, brilliant hold-up play. Advantage being played on. J.J. Bell. Oh, that's slick. Just dancing away from the pressure. Unaffected. Arana lifted by the confidence of his go-ahead goal. Shifting wide. Shuttled in across the face of goal again. Di Morelli had a poke. Pushes it wide. This part of tonight's match is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. They've been patient with the pressing efforts. Houston Dynamo 2 been rewarded with a couple of key takeaways. Nearly another coming there instead of cutting down in a foul. Mamadou Bilo-Diop is being asked to come deeper and deeper just to get a scent of the game. Spilled back towards the end line. Patterning right through the press in this instance. Colorado Rapids too. Run into stiffer resistance in the attacking half, but soldier on anyway. Now they might have numbers. Cavalry arriving in all quadrants of the attacking area. And pounded away. They've been trying to find the feet of Mamadou Bilo-Diop all game long, coming off a 16-goal season a year ago. Helped lead Rapids 2 all the way to the MLS Next Pro Cup final. Going to be beaten by Michael Bradley's New York Red Bulls 2 team. Red Bulls New York, I should say. Of course, that is nothing to be ashamed of as you look at exactly how many of those players have made such an impact at the senior level this year. Likes of Julian Hall, who will catch up with at halftime, announcing themselves on the grand stage. And as Rapids 2 press one into the area, maybe signaling exactly what kind of quality is on display in this division. Bounding on a play for a throw. Wathuda puts his foot on the ball. Muscling forward. Pressed into a dangerous area, and foul is called. It was Alex Harris, who's been quiet so far, coming into the team today. Gets toppled down as he was starting to ask some pointed questions in the attack. Harris making his first MLS Next Pro appearance of the season today. 3 at senior level with Colorado Rapids in MLS this year. 17 appearances for him last season with 7 goals and 6 assists. See if he has any creativity on offer potentially as he stirs around in the box. Amidst his colleagues and contemporaries, free kick set to be thrown into the area by Wathuda. Aimed into a dangerous area and darted free and clear for a goal kick. A little bit casual defensively from Dynamo Dos. Nonetheless, just a passing blow. Something to chase for Austin Brumat. It's one well. Sidney Wathuda starting to find the game more and more, making things happen in the mid part. This portion of the match is brought to you by Kiewit, official construction and engineering partner of Colorado Rapids. Turning on the accelerator and brushing by his marker was Stuart Baines. He's won a corner. Rapids, too, have been the author of 4 separate set-piece goals this year. That's the 3rd most in MLS Next Pro. Only set of the unbeaten sides in the division can claim that they have more. Those being St. Louis and Crown Legacy. Plenty of size to make use of in the box. Bilo Diop standing at 6'2" would be a primary target. Flung goalward. The back stick. Nodded off course. Re-entered into the box. The knock-on header, and it will stick up for Rapids 2. Mathuda having a think and now having a curling effort that will find the gloves of Pedro Cruz. Hemmed in more and more here. Dynamo Dos, and a slashing tackle comes in. That will be a foul and likely the first booking of the game. At least it looks like the referee's got something out of his pocket. They're going to get Kai Thomas, it appears, for what is a nasty challenge. Will be the first name taken. Maybe a little bit fortunate that that was not escalated from more than just a caution, just by the nature of how violent the tackle was and how out of control the defensive effort in reality took shape to be. Finding it much easier to get the ball forward right now, Rapids 2. Kamani Stewart-Baines never quite got full purchase of the ball there, though. And a tidy twist away. The goal scorer, Arana, marshalling the midfield. A sleek interchange out by the far touchline. Has freed up an oncoming runner. This is Reese Miller. Mustered a pretty decent cross there, and it's given away again nearly. Just able to get off the hook. Rapids 2 with Thuda. Sneaking in behind, doing just enough to put it off was Vinicius Silva. Comes up with a wobble. Silva not caught some of the ball there as he goes to ground, and Pedro Cruz was looking to try and escape from his own ad. Now they'll bring the physio on. Cruz looked up and realized he was one man light. Fortunate for him, the referee's going to step in and stop play. Cruz coming in and catching a piece of the ball, but also getting caught himself. A screaming James Cameron at full speed. And already down, Gavin Wolf, their first choice central center back. This could spell real issue for one of the elite defenses in MLS Next Pro. Isaac Wakatuya stepping in and deputizing today. 18-year-old from out of the academy. Vinicius Silva making his 4th start of the year. The heart of that back line. Plays such an important role as that outside center back. And those players given a lot of license to not only defend and do so in high degrees of organization and provide all that stability, but beyond that, know when to get forward and create the numerical advantage with the ball. So a real intuitive relationship that's formed across the entire back three, and that chemistry will be tested if Silva cannot continue. Would mean that Dynamo Dos are down 2 of their first choice 3 starters. For the time being, it's defending with 10 men for Dynamo Dos. Silva waiting patiently and back on his feet, out by the 4th official. James Cameron. Nathan Chumba deferring. Dicing wide. That's a well-disguised ball into the box. A monstrous tackle inside the area from Noah Bentoncourt. Came all the way over and made sure things stayed tidy and clean. What a ball to unlock things from Sidney Wathuda, who's finding much joy out by the far side in the last couple of pieces of play. Does look like Vinicius Silva has rejoined the fray. Rapids 2 have looked much better over the last 20 minutes or so. That's the big thing, though, that Eric Bushley has spotlighted with the team. That last action has not been ruthless enough this year, nor consistent enough. Despite all this mounting pressure that they've been able to accumulate, not much to show for it in terms of actual examinations of Pedro Cruz. A review of the foul that was called in midfield. And Justin confirming the point, Pedro Cruz only the 1 save so far in the game. Another sharp foul and another yellow card. Looks like they're going to assess this to Ali Fadal. Just a bit out of control as he went for the loose ball in the mid-park. So the captain, Fadal, goes in the book. Him and Kai Thomas now sitting on the cautions. Confiscated defensively by Rapids 2. Ali Fadal gets cut down and he'll start up quickly off the free kick. Kilo Chop. Kamani Stewart Baines. Swinging to the wide side. And it's going to lapse out of the grasp of Rapids 2, and wrapping up and taking down the attacking player. Reach to the back pocket. A red card. Matthew Arana was well on his way in on goal. A tangling of feet, and with Arana going to ground, a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. And Charlie Harper, his day is done early. Just as the foothold was starting to become present for Rapids 2. They take one on the chin. It happens in a blink. Matthew Arana at the hearts of the dismay of the home side again. And now not only down a goal, but down a man. That is a league-leading third red card of the year for Colorado Rapids 2. There's been a sending off in 3 of the last 4 fixtures between these two teams now as well. And there's a free kick to come just ahead of the curtain fall in the first half. Dynamo Dos can really compound things if they can find the back of Zachary Campagnolo's net once more.
In the 44th minute.
It's routine and taken quickly, bounding off the wall. Out for another corner. Waiting on the board to go up and waiting on this in-swinging corner kick for Dynamo Dos.
The fourth official has indicated
it's a decent ball. Shipped away. J.J. Bell with runway. Silva stabbing in. He goes to ground again. Able to raise himself, and it's a throw-in for Rapids 2. Arana. Betancourt. Rapids 2 sagging off a little bit more now. Trying to close the space with one less defender. See how patient Dynamo Dos might be with 3 minutes of stoppage time left. It looked like it might open up for a moment out on that far touchline, but nothing coming off. Driving ahead at full speed, another tackle that looked a bit tumultuous this time. Put in by Stuart Baines, but legally done. James Cameron reinforced. And shepherded back by Ali Fadal. Wathuda going where he's required now, functioning between the center backs in the build-up. Flying a ball in behind, it will go all the way back to Pedro Cruz. There's space out there. And the ball will stick up enough to have a Dynamo Dos attacker arrive on top of it. Numbers in the area, step over, a shot flung over goal. Everything but the finish in a sequence that went back to front in a blink. It was J.J. Bell. That was the blunt object, as it would be in the end. That's a nifty and neat ball through a pocket of pressure. Doesn't go much of anywhere. DiMorelli intercepting. Arana. Gilberto Rivera, including Silva in the attack now. Oh, that's weighted to perfection. The shot fizzed in, and it finds Pater. Striking at the soft underbelly of the opponent. In a moment of weakness is Reese Miller. Just a little bit casual from Colorado, and they are cut apart. Reese Miller adds his first of the year, the 13th Dynamo Dos player to find the back of the net. And it is an effortless piece of finishing from him as he coolly picked out his corner and deposited the ball where he intended. And on the stroke of halftime, the climb doubles for the side from Colorado.
Houston Dynamo 2 goals scored by number 27, Reese Miller. The assist, number 12, Vinicius.
Soldiering on nonetheless. Rapids 2, who will have a throw, are beyond the 4 allotted minutes. Referee reaching for his whistle now. And 2 shrills for halftime. A half that featured 2 goals for Dynamo Dos. Some friction there at the end. Looked like the referee blew for the expiration of the half, and now confirms that decision. To the dressing room we go. And it is with heads held high for Dynamo Dos, who, on the back of a pair of goals, have cashed in the man advantage, made the most of surmounting pressure early on, and have themselves in a good place to continue their unbeaten start to the year. Again, our score at the half is 2-0 to Dynamo Dos. The best young stars in MLS traces his soccer roots to MLS Next Pro. More on that after we return. A brief timeout now.
Yeah, boys hear sentiment, flow tastes sweet like cinnamon. Open up doors, I'm a gentleman. View top floor, I'm still staying ahead of them. Running on fumes and adrenaline. Do what I do best, can't rush in like a roulette. You can't name a better duet. Don't ask questions, trying to figure out what sound. Don't worry about what next, just wanna know what's next. Man, I say it so loud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now. Oh yes, man, I say it oh so proud. Don't worry about what next, just know we got now.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
Here at the half, Dynamo Dos by a couple of goals on Colorado Rapids 2. As we set to embark upon our halftime coverage, we visit with Julian Hall, who's made such a big impact in MLS this season. The MLS Next Pro graduate takes some time to talk about his journey.
Julian Hall. Goal, it goes in.
Mehmeti, has he broken through here? Mehmeti across, Hall!
Swinging ball towards the back post. It goes. Opening goal for Red Bull New York. Julian Zakshevsky Hall.
Born in Manhattan, New York, Julian Hall found the game the same way a lot of kids in this city do.
I first kind of started playing soccer when I was around 4 years old. I would play a lot wherever I could, if it was a field near my apartment or wherever I could, basically. And I just remember, falling in love with the game and wanting to play as much as I can. There's a main place I would play. It's pretty popular in Manhattan. It's called Pier 40, and a lot of people go there. That's where I played with Manhattan Kickers. It's kind of where I really started to realize I really wanted to play soccer seriously and maybe make it professionally.
That love for the game turned into an opportunity, a move into one of the top academies in the country.
Julian came into our system at U14. I think he played about 3 or 4 games with the U14s. I was a U15 coach at the time, so I was observing those games, and you could see straight away he was a special talent. So he quickly got moved up an age group to play with the U15s that season. Made an instant impact with the older age groups.
The level changed quickly, and so did the expectations.
I was very excited to come in and show my ability, and I was playing with my age and I was playing a year up, and the intensity was a different level, I would say, from what I've ever played at that point in my life. So yeah, no, it's an amazing experience.
Chimueno scored off the bench against Seattle, and Julian Hall with the breakthrough. The Golden Boot leader rises to the occasion, and we've got an electric finish here in the U15 final.
He's one of those players that can get you up off your feet. Like, he's direct, he can take players on, he can score goals from inside the box, outside the box in really different ways. And, it would always amaze you how he would find goals in the game.
The next step brought a new set of challenges.
That was the biggest jump for me, going from academy to professional football. The intensity, the physicality, the football, it was all quicker than anything I had experienced before. And, I just thought I did a good job of staying level-headed and not being discouraged about little things.
Working to the midfield, now Gonzalez entering the box, across and a goal! Julian Hall puts the Red Bulls 2 on the board.
I was lucky to be coached by Ibrahim Sakaya, and Bradley Wright Phillips was there a lot of the time as well. They did a good job of helping me progress and helping me not get discouraged and keep going every single day and working hard. The coaching staff really mentored me very well.
Like, he's always striving to try and get better at something within games and training. And then, why he adapts well, he's a natural goal scorer.
For Julian, it was about staying level and keeping the work the same.
When you go to a professional environment, if you're doing the most amount of work and you're clearly working harder than everyone else, it stands out to a lot of people, and that can be something that separates you from everyone else. If you're a hard worker, that could get you to a lot of places, and I think that's just something that established me when I first came into the first team.
That work and mentality has paid off with the fast start of the season.
We're really happy with the way that he's moving himself forward. He has taken the ideas and has really shown that he is picking things up. Obviously, there's the attacking part, his ability to find chances, his ability to take balls on the move, to dribble, to go by guys, run in the box. The part that goes with it is how much work he does for us against the wall, how much pressing, how much sprinting, how much chasing, how much work he does to really make the game difficult on the other team. And so we're really, really happy with the progress that he's made. We're going to continue to push him.
As he continues to grow, so does the chemistry with his teammates around him.
I've known Julian for a very long time now. I see the way he works in training. I'm getting to know him more and more, obviously, as we play together on and off the field. And then when I step onto the field, I know where he's going to be on the field, what his positioning is like, where he wants the ball, left foot, right foot. And we're kind of growing that connection, which has been going in a really good way, and hopefully, to grow that connection even more.
Mehmeti, has he broken through here? Mehmeti across, Hall! 2-0!
I think it's just the trust with the coaching staff. Coach Michael, he's done a great job with us during preseason and putting trust in me to start the first couple games. It's a lot of credit to him for putting his belief in me. Obviously, I have to go out there and perform to the best of my ability, and thankfully I've got a couple goals so far. The goal is to keep progressing throughout the season.
Talent and work ethic have helped Julian's dreams come true faster than even he could have predicted.
I've always dreamt of becoming a professional soccer player, but I never really expected it to happen so fast, to be honest. You know, earlier that year, I was still just playing academy, and I was progressing well, but I never thought it would lead to signing a contract later that year. So it's kind of a lesson there just to be ready for anything, and anything can happen very, very quickly. You really just have to put your all into whatever you're doing, and things can happen. I think a big thing is just self-belief, because when I was playing in MLS Next, I was signing a contract later that season. I had no idea. I did not have a plan on signing that year. That was not in my plan at all. I think things like that can come from just you doing as much as you can, and things will just happen by itself, you know. As long as you're working hard and giving 100% every single day, you know, good things will happen. And, you know, thankfully things came to me that year, and, you know, you got to be grateful and you got to use it as much as you can to your abilities.
Excellent feature on the journey and success story of Julian Hall. A banner performance so far this year for Red Bull in New York. As for what's going on around the division, here's the accounting of things at this pivotal point in the early season. Match week 10 and MLS Next Pro just about a third of the way into this Virgin 2026 campaign. And as you see the results rolling in from around the division over the course of the last couple of days, the loudest one potentially from San Jose Earthquakes 2 as they go to Ventura County. They were up 3 goals in that game in the first half in short order, holding on for the result. St. Louis City 2 losing in the shootout after a 0-0 against Minnesota United FC 2. So, St. Louis vulnerable at the top of the table. Dynamo Dos pursuing them. As for what is going on around the division these next couple of days as we move toward match week 11, here is the docket on hand for you. A big one to come between Toronto FC 2 and Red Bull 2 as those teams are vying for positioning in the early going in the Eastern Conference. New York Red Bull 2 trying to defend that crown in the division. First half in the books here in the Mile High city of Denver, Colorado. The highlights from that first half, and they all flowed in favor of the side in orange. A takeaway and a strong pressing effort left little to doubt for Matthew Arana, who just with such a high degree of composure lofted it up over the goalkeeper and onto the score sheet to make it 1-0. Arana would draw a red card here as he was wrapped up in behind. Charlie Harper sent off, and Dynamo Dos make sure to make the most of that advantage as edging in from the wide side on the attack would be Reese Miller, connecting with the bottom corner and making it 2-0. That's where we've been. We are heading for the second half. That's all coming to you when we return here in Denver. Dynamo Dos 2, Colorado Rapids 2-0.
should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
The unique energy of a Sunday night. Ideal for calm music, whispers, stargazing, reflection, and a relaxed environment. Sunday nights were made for this.
Second half, approaching on the near-handed horizon between Dynamo Dos, Colorado Rapids 2. At the break, it is 2-0 to the visitors as they have taken full control and custody of the affair. Rapids 2 now down a man and down heavily on the score sheet with a mountain to climb as we enter toward the second frame of play. Once more, Peyton Geller here to bring you all of the detail on a dynamic day in Denver. Sun starting to set as Dynamo Dos continue their rise in the Western Conference, pursuing what would be a 7th victory on the season. They only got 9 all of 2025. Final preparations being put in place as we close in on commencement of this half. Once more, Rapids 2 hit hard on the defensive end of things. Been a little bit leaky over the course of the early part of their campaign. Conceded multiple goals now in all but one of their 8 contests played this year. Dynamo Dos, they have prolifically scored, averaging just over 2 goals per 90 so far this year. They've already hit that clip in 45 minutes.
The Houston Dynamo substitution. Entering the game, number 3, replacing number 26.
A.G. Hata coming in reserve for Dynamo Dos, defender that's seen plenty of action throughout the early part of the season. Also a change to be made by Rapids 2. It looks like the day is done for several players. Strohauer, one of them namely. Jabari Day Cattell entered into the game by Rapids 2. Hopefully for them, helping to shore up that defensive line. And Reese Miller, his day is done for Dynamo Dos. So that is the player making the spot for Hata.
Two substitutions at halftime. In the game, number 18, Bryce Jamison. Leaving the game, number 80, Noah Strelnauer. Entering the game for the Rapids, Jabari Gakoto, number 45, replacing Nathan Chumba, number 49.
Again, it's a lower lying line of engagement for Dynamo Dos before they go and press the ball. Even More restraint being shown now that they have the extra man that they can commit in the press. Red card having been called in the first half. Now they got numbers on the attack. Arriving in the box is J.J. Bell. He's waiting on the far side as Dynamo Dos try and find a way through on the far flank. As they fling a shot in from the corner of the 18 and leave it just high. I believe that was Samir Mohammed who let loose. Exploring down the far channel. Here goes Alex Harris, who's chopped down. And he's lost custody of the ball. One of those new substitutes for Rapids, Bryce Jamison. He's able to win a corner. Very talented wide man that was brought in via transfer last year by the senior team from Orange County SC in the USL Championship. They're very excited about his prospects and feel like he's starting to find the pace for the league. We'll get 45 minutes to show us stuff here and a corner to work with. Punched away, and Pedro Cruz, despite still doing his job quite well there, was interfered with. Another invasion into the attacking half, but this time Dynamo don't make too much progress. Using the full touchline to touchline width at this stage. Trying to stretch apart Rapids 2 and make them suffer as much as possible. Cover as much ground. Skipping along again, Dynamo Dos. Brumat linking again, falling at the feet of J.J. Bell, who's chopped down, and it is a point to the spot. The Texans taking charge, and they will take aim from 12 yards. It's such unselfish play by Brumat to turn his back to goal and set up the second wave runner. Looked like Arana, who played the ball wide for J.J. Bell, leaving the defender little choice. The leg is left out, and it will be a penalty for Dynamo Dos and Gilberto Rivera, looking for his second goal of the year up against Zachary Campagnolo. Rivera, it's rude. And they are reveling in the spotlight here now. Dynamo Dos, dominant. Gilberto Rivera, the right man for the job, who did his thing stylishly from the penalty marker. They are just enjoying their football right now. 7 games unbeaten on the skip, stepping into today. They have not carried the weight of the unbeaten start at all. Again, this is a very young team. Average age of the starting 11, just about 20 years old in this one for Dynamo Dos, playing their 4th consecutive game on the road, their 4th out of 10 set to be in a row away from home. And it's just been a professional performance. No road wear to be seen or heard. Shot sprayed in towards goal, and stepping right back to take one for Rapids 2. It's Alex Harris who breaks the guard of Pedro Cruz in Dynamo Dos. Well, that might be the jolts that the home side have been begging for. And it fell so kindly into a soft spot for Harris to sting one from outside the D. And Pedro Cruz caught flat-footed, couldn't react in time. Just passed into the bottom-hand corner. Rapids 2 renew the interest.
Colorado Rapids 2 goal, scored by number 16, Alex Harris.
The 3rd goal conceded all year by Dynamo Dos. We'll see what momentum might be able to yield for Colorado Rapids 2. Very important stretch of the game over these next 5 or so minutes. Now it's all opening up. Carving into the 18, looking for the cutback. Cued away, only as far as Arana. Silva. Rivera, and Silva has a strike. Knuckled away for a corner. It was venomous. Swashbuckling all the way out for a goal kick. Went right between the legs of Austin Brumet. Rapids 2 were trying to go rapidly. Hemmed in at the end line. It's repossessed by J.J. Bell, who's won himself a free kick. That is fabulous effort from Bell, who's been in the thick of things all game long, both in defense as the wing back, but also in the attack. This part of the match is brought to you by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. Inspecting at the far edge of the 18. Bonnie's in the box now. On a twirl. Hata! Hammers high. Jabari Day cuts out in connection with Bryce Jamison. He gets walled off. Gliding ahead. This is with Thuda, who flings one far field. Hata. He's made an imprint since coming on out of half. Rapids who got that one goal back after falling behind 3-0, and there's a player down. Happened well away from the play. Ali Fadal. Hopefully it's just a cramp. Really stretched to get a touch on one that was hurling through the midfield, and you applaud the effort to rise back up to his feet and try and get back into the play, but unable to carry on. See if his day comes to a close or he'll just be tested by the physio. Spun centrally for Silva. Arana. Cut clear enough to switch the point. Now across. Not with the right measure, but it will stick up and stay on for J.J. Bell. Contested by Bryce Jamison. Arana. And the best player on the pitch so far. Rivera has given it away. Shot heaved in, and Pedro Cruz will meet it. Bounding in behind, it's a bouncer for Brumet. Losing the leash in the end. It will be a triple change for Dynamo Dos. Artur Souza, I should say, is coming on for Austin Brumet. who was lively throughout the course of the contest, but wasn't able to make it two on the skip in terms of the goal-scoring department. Diego Gonzalez coming on for J.J. Bell. Rounding out the group, the Alessandro Herrera will step into the tie, replacing Samir Mohammed. So at the hour mark, Dynamo Dos freshen up. With the man advantage controlling much more of the ball. It was nearly a 60-40 split prior to that. Sending off of Charlie Harper. Now it's about 50-50. 22 shots for Dynamo Dos in the game, given about 11 of those came inside the first quarter hour. They've been well good, the lead that they now command. Contesting the space and compressing towards the corner. So far, Rapids 2 holding their nerve, though. Now they pick the lock in the press. De Cattell unable to dodge the tackle of A.G. Hatta. This part of the match is brought to you by American Family Insurance. Life's better when you're protected under our roof. Hatta again opening things up from his wide center back station. I should say he is functioning more prevalently as a wing back out in front of Vinicius Silva to this stage. Well, that's sweet feet. Not sweet enough. Nutmeg did come off, but nothing beyond that. It is one back, though, immediately by Dynamo Dos. Gonzalez. Hatta. Hooked away at the top of the area and foul called against Houston. Cavagnolo. Fidal and funneling forward now. Alex Harris. This is a good passage of play. Bryce Jamison was a step shy of really making things interesting potentially. Souza seeking space, instead found some illicit contact, and foul is awarded. Goals from Gilberto Rivera, Reese Miller, and Taylor Arana. Dynamo Dos. And that will be a yellow card on the goal scorer, the one that got things going. Ignition man. Matthew Arana quickly called. And it opens up a pretty dangerous free kick. This would be one way to get back into the game for Rapids too. Sidney Wathuta does have the range. Would be an even more impressive feat to beat a goalkeeper of Pedro Cruz's quality from this distance. And he's chosen for himself a four-man wall. Leaving that far post a little bit more exposed. It's service from Wathuta, and it's played way too narrow to Cruz to cause any real issue. Just in rounding out the accounting, it's Alex Harris responsible for the goal for Rapids 2. Assisted by Mamadou Bilodja, who will be able to at least say that he's had back-to-back games with a goal contribution to start up his campaign. Scored last match against Vancouver. 1-1 draw that Rapids 2 ended up losing in the shootout, but in a lot of ways could very be easily argued maybe their strongest performance of the year. Fell behind early in that game, came back. That will be the task at hand here as that is bounced away for a corner. It would be a much more impressive climb on this occasion, though, than it was last time out against the Canadian side, Whitecaps 2. Does look like a substitute is being readied by Jeffrey Hurdle. See when the window might open for them to come on, but in the present tense, it's Sidney Wathuta casting his ambition goalward. It's a well-shaped ball at the back post, played back across frame. Swerved away from a set of Dynamo Dos defenders. Jamison. That was Jabari De Coutel. That was able to keep it intel for Rapids 2. Does certainly seem as if Dynamo Dos do need the one insurance goal to really feel good about this. Rapids 2 have been drawing closer and closer as we do get a chance for the change. Gustavo Doma pressed into action, relieving Matthew Arana. This part of the match is brought to you by UC Health. With personalized care and locations across Colorado, UC Health is here for you no matter where your story takes you. UC Health. Live extraordinary. Connected play in the build for Rapids 2. Finding the feet of Alex Harris, who flies by a whole pack of defenders. Enough detail on his delivery wide to put Pedro Cruz in an awkward spot, but cover provided in defense. Looked like by Noah Betancourt. Jamison linking with De Cattell. And now flashing it across. It's up for grabs. Pedro Cruz turns it away. And both players ailing after the collision. They converged on a free ball right in the face of goal. Neither flinched. A measure of price to be paid by both. It was great work to take the sting out of the ball from James Cameron and get himself facing towards target. Touch just a bit heavy, and Pedro Cruz wanting further attention. Cameron is able to get back up and get underway. Cruz has been the starter for all but one game this year. The backup today. Karimov, 18-year-old, 6'3" goalkeeper. This is not a pretty picture. Pedro Cruz in continued discomfort. He is back up on his haunches now. He won't get the clean sheet today. He's not had a ton to do, but when the moment presented, he answered the call, making that stop that left him injured. That's the kind of unflinching focus that his manager, Jeremy Hurdle, was speaking about in the build-up to this game. Never hesitated, even though the contact was all but a certainty. Once he went sprawling, made himself as big as possible. And it was going to take a little more than that to get him out of this game. That is clean and tidy to get it wide. The ball bounced down over the touchline. Pedro Cruz, it's just what he does. Casual Travella amidst, albeit tacit, but still pressure. Let's open things up on the other end. Knocked down in the middle. Souza can't pick up the pieces, pressed all the way back to goal. Away with it go Rapids too. Shepherded out of play for a throw. No gaps presenting to get the ball across midfield yet in this piece of play. Now with Thuda, has an avenue. Seen him play all the way up and down the park, especially after the red card. Streaming out to the far flank. Snaking towards the end line. And it will be nothing more than a goal kick. Longest passage of play that's transpired without a goal since the opener. They were flying in for a time there. Goals in the 52nd and then 53rd, one by each team. What we can report from this half. High header put in by Campagnolo. Attaching to the second ball only for a moment were Dynamo Dos, and it will be a throw-in. Well, that's great play. It opened up for a second. Second ball in. Bathuda. Game's still not over, even though it definitely looked that way. Crazy things happen in Next Pro every match week. 3-0 by itself was not a done and done situation. Done and dusted, I should say. But down the man, even the most optimistic would have found it difficult to fashion a way back for Rapids 2. But after that quick response from Alex Harris, a sharp understanding that all it takes is one bounce and it's really game on. Dynamo Dos have not finished the thing off. Sprinting up the touchline, the ball has stayed on. Maybe not. Rapids who have fully recaptured that possessional advantage that had started to evade them over the middle stretch of the game. Even with one less player, gonna surpass 400 passes pretty easily. May even come up close to 500 for the game. Currently at 380. Anticipate them to have almost the full share of it the rest of the way, unless they do get the goal. That puts the urgency back into the stride of Dynamo Dos. Houston unlikely to leave themselves exposed if they can avoid it. Bryce Jamison on a one-to-run. Everything was lining up for him. Put himself up amongst the stars. Shot blocked on its passage towards goal, though. A slide draw ball in behind, and a foul called in its pursuit. Substitution coming here. Chris Aquino pumped into the game. Looks like the day is done for Mamadou Bilo Joe. Something might be cooking for Dynamo Dos. Also coming in that moment of substitution was Josh Copeland. Started last game, not in the starting 11 today, but he's streaking ahead here. Josh Copeland with fresh legs, firing towards the end line. Fighting off the tackle of Noah Betancourt. A pathway forward that is not a very long one for Rapids 2. Looks like things were emerging there for a moment. The final ball needed more quality. Well, that's a delightful ball. Not many would think to play a pass like that. Sneaking ahead, Dynamo Dos. Hata and then Silva and into the middle. Silva again. Herrera. Progressively forming that overload. And now working in a cross. Man in the middle, Souza on the spin. And snatching at it. The whole way. Goal kick. Dynamo still pressing. Just in their DNA. They will sequence a game absolutely tactically and play the rough with the smooth, but at a certain stage, there are these core tenets and principles about how you play that you can't abandon in any situation. That is the mark of a really great team. Force of identity and will, and forcefully into the box, and too much so. Even though he finishes, Artur Souza had gotten the illegal advantage. Dave Cattell. Lifted towards the back line of Dynamo Dos. And recovered with Thuda punching into a gap for Copeland, who rolls it along to the end line. The cutback coming at the back post. A chance, another, and blocked on the way through. Charging into a defender. And foul is called. Oh, has a penalty been given here? The cutback came. It got blocked not once but twice. Everybody's gathering around the penalty spot. I think maybe a handball was called. And the tension multiplies. There's a player down for Dynamo Dos. Not sure if it was a handball or a foul, but just judging the posture of those Rapids 2 players on the field, particularly Alex Harris, the way he's protecting the ball. The way the Rapids 2 assembly are currently cluttered around the penalty spot to make sure that no Dynamo player hoofs up any grass. Certainly looks as if there's going to be a penalty on the other end of this injury stoppage. Well, Dynamo Dos had only conceded 2 goals all year through the first 7 games, so down a man to score a pair, that would be an achievement in and of itself for Rapids 2. Referee is having a bit of a conversation now. It looks like he will not stick with the initial ruling of penalty. That's currently what's going on, and this is how the rules are supposed to play out. Ali Fadal, the only Rapids 2 player, having a conversation with the referee, and that's because he's got the captain's armband. Big point of emphasis coming into MLS Next Pro in the game globally last year. Only the captain can directly dialogue with the center official. He makes his case of protest, and it goes no further than that. The linesman was on that side of the field where it looked like maybe an infringement might have taken place. After a pause for conversation, no penalty is the call. Mustering along regardless, Bryce Jamison and company. Another chopping challenge, and it will be a yellow card. Nicias Silva goes in the book in the 89th minute. There's one fan that believes that's a red card in the front row. Jamison, always technical and looking for that one-step edge where he can really show off that pace. Wrong-footed Silva and put him in a tough spot. That does render a free kick. Curled in. Looking for the knockback across goal. Cruz comes for it. And the chance left begging. The goal was gaping. Bryce Jamison can't stick and twist. Cruz came a long way once the ball was spun back across the 6-yard box. Missed on his punch. Jamison just half-footed at it. Went airborne, and I don't think he realized how much time he had to swing his left foot through the ball. Just trying to get any kind of poke he could. That is stunning skill nonetheless. De Coutel and Jamison, and those two in close connection again. The cross coming, but it came across the end line first. Steering towards stoppage time. Really spirited fight back from Colorado Rapids 2. Looks like it's just about going to fall short unless something miraculous changes. There's going to be a yellow card shown to the bench, it looks like. Colorado are getting ready to make one final change. And Schronheimer getting final instruction. Summoned down and spilled away. Screaming upfield, looking for the icer. Dynamo Dos. Late arriving reinforcement will not get a chance to make the impact. It's a corner and a chance for the change. Looks like Kai Thomas, who was able to transgress and traverse 92 minutes of play on a yellow card. There's no reason to potentially risk him getting a second here late on and missing the next match. That will be against Sporting Kansas City 2. Colorado Rapids 2 Two sides struggling for form in the Western Conference. Knocked across goal. Another good save from Campagnolo. Play resuming. Slaloming back toward the left foot. A shapely ball into the box, and offside is the word. Chris Aquino was trying to find the soft spot. The man he played the ball to was a step early. Cattell. This might be the final attack for Colorado Rapids 2 on the day. Heading towards the finish line in a game where they were just second best. Whacked in. Prodded back and then done so a second time. Another cross blocked on its way through. And that will do it. Dynamo dosed. No hesitation on the road. They remain unbeaten. Their 7th win of the year comes at the cost. Colorado Rapids 2 will have to wait at least a couple more days to try and find 3 points for the first time in their Western Conference title defense, season of 2026. 3-1 is the final score. Houston Dynamo 2 take it in full. Do so without much pause. The man of the match, Matthew Arana, got us going. Scoring that all-important opening goal. Reading the play and delivering a dainty finish. Funneled in, top shelf. Also drew the red card that really changed things later on Charlie Harper. And all told, just a comprehensive performance from the young man in the mid-park. As the 15-year-old runs the game and puts Dynamo 2 rightfully on track for all 3 points. 3 points that they would claim. Again, the final score here today from Denver. Houston Dynamo dose 3, Colorado Rapids 2-1. Our entire wonderful cast and crew here at MLS Next Pro, we thank you for watching tonight's broadcast. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long, MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball. But for now, we say goodnight. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.